Well, yes, you did read the title of this video, right? This game was indeed made with the help of a 9-year-old. But if you think I'm here to just make fun of this game and lambast it, going like, oh, ho, ho, game bad, game poopy, and just like talk about all the horrible history behind the game as well as the horrible memes it spawned, quite the contrary actually. Like, while this game was actually quite a big like meme within Japan in 2008, it was in a more wholesome way as compared to the previous game it's talked about that was released in 2008 as well. Into the game I want to introduce to you guys today is I think I just hit the mic there.
House of Curses.
So this game was made using Click and Play, which was a game development software which was released in 1994 for a 1997 Click and Play game development competition. Needless to say, like most other games within the competition, unsurprising to anyone, this game did not win and was forgotten and left by the wayside for the longest of time. That was until in 2008 when someone actually dug up videos of this game's gameplay and uploaded it to the Japanese video hosting site called Nico Nico Doga. For those of you who do not know what that is, it's the Japanese equivalent of YouTube, which came out about around the same time as when YouTube was first launched as well. Now, needless to say, this game is not very good. I mean, it's their first game, so it's understandable since it was just made by one parent and their 9-year-old child. So no one was expecting something spectacular, but the reason why, unlike something like New Year, which we talked about in a previous video, that this game is celebrated as a very wholesome meme rather than as like ranked as one of the worst games of the year, was in part, well, due to the fact that it's an indie title, made by a very small, inexperienced person, so no one's actually looking at that as something that was expected to be good. And more on top of that was due to the fact that the game was very wholesome in general. Like, this is the era of like where people are just like, partying over cats with their funny cheeseburgers and all that. It was a very different time of the internet where wholesome shit was the way, like was the true matter of the internet at the time. So the game was released then, and not only was it wholesome, but the contents of the game were just so bizarre that people just like picked up on how weird it was and just like rolled with it all the way. In fact, this game had such a huge impact on Japanese meme culture in general at the time that not only did it get used in like a slew of memes made using contents from the game, but back in 2008 when users of Nico Nico Doga were trying to make their own equivalent of a unofficial YouTube rewind, they actually included this game in a decently long segment. Although, well, I guess unlike a YouTube rewind, it's more of a mad video as they're called in Japanese, where it's just like a lot more focus on using like weird sounds to make music, but that's beside the point. Point is, this game was put in one of those videos alongside like many of the big memes and like famous like meme characters from Japan. Characters such as Mega Man, also known as Rockman, Ultraman, Cheetah Man, and for someone who isn't someone with a word man in their name, Ronald McDonald. So yeah, as you can see, this game is really up there with all the heavy hitters. Like, even up to today, people are still making mats using Ronald McDonald for reasons I can't imagine other than to want to like spook kids or something with the whole clown aesthetic. But anyway, such a game, so big and popular within meme culture. Let's take a look at it and see like what exactly this game was, cause believe me, it was kind of short, but a very interesting game nonetheless. So the main menu itself looks pretty cool, especially when you consider when this game was made. Like, you have the spooky ruins with the spooky faces, even though the game doesn't take place in ruins but in a mansion, so we'll never see this stage design anywhere. Then you have your two like menu selection buttons, which are so minimalist in what you can choose. You have start and explanation and nothing else. Like, this puts even the I'm on observation duty series to shame with how simple it is. Like, those games with their 3 buttons, this game has 2. Clearly this is a superior game. And on top of that, like, the way the buttons are designed as well, it's like, this really feels like just some Angel Fire website from like the early 2000s or even before that for that matter. Does anybody still know what Angel Fire is? Or is this like too boomer of a reference? But yeah, jokes aside, the full like heartwarmingness of the game first comes in even in the explanation itself, because like when you click on the explanation button in the game, what do you expect to see, right? Like the lore of the game, controls, maybe the credits, that's about it, right? But like the first thing they actually started off with is just like, hi, this game was made by me with my child who's like in year 3 of grade school, which is like 9 years old, and he's just like, well, if you have like advice you can give on how I can improve the game, you can email me here. And he just like puts his email address there, which I'm gonna block out just in case, cause I know from reading like interviews that they did with him after the fact that like he kind of feels a bit weird about it, so maybe I'll just leave it out. If you're interested in finding his email address, you can probably just download the game anyway. It's readily available online, and you can just like say hi to him or something. But yeah, aside from the that, I don't know, just something about the innocence in all of that, and like just like talking about like how this game was created by him and his child, and the him just putting out his email address there like that for everyone. It's like, it's such early internet innocence that it just warms my little boomer heart a little. After that, it's mostly just the controls of the game, pretty standard stuff. You got left, right to go left, right, jump to jump. I mean, shift key to jump, which is a bit of a weird one, especially nowadays. Your down arrow to squat, up arrow to climb, and spacebar to attack. Mostly normal, a bit weird, but hey. Aside from the funny way that the button layout is done and the fact that the background is the equivalent of a very like jarring Angel Fire website from the early 2000s. Compared to that, the controls themselves are pretty fine in my opinion. And this is all just topped off by the fact that you just have Mr. Rogers like chilling on the side of the explanation for some reason. That said, I hope you have been paying attention, because this is pretty much all the explanation I'm gonna get within the game. The moment you click start, you're immediately tossed into the stage without like any explanation any more about what you need to do. You just tossed there and expected to know where to go. And so I guess we just have to guess now. Anyway, we can just like test out the controls, right? Like if I were to jump, what would it be like? Yeah, clearly he's not Italian. I think we can say that for sure. But anyway, the game isn't too bad. I mean, it does have some similarities to like your Kaizo games out there. Like the moment you move, the first thing that happens is that you just get like welcome back, my son, to the fold. So this might be a bit underwhelming, especially in 2023, but that scene of him just like dying with his death rattle as he floats into the air, being like lifted to the meme gods into meme heaven with the rest of the Ronald McDonald's waiting for him there. That is a majority of the iconic meme of this game. like really, that's about it. Like when I said that it was a much more wholesome and simple era, like the cats with burgers back then, I really mean it. Like this was a big part of it. But that's it. Let's just look at the rest of the game as well, because there's a bit more at the end of this game related to the memes that were made for this game as well. So after a bunch of failed attempts to get across the water with his very un-Italian jump, we finally get to the other side where there's a chest. We walk towards the chest and and did I mention that the game has some very terrifying monsters as well? Like, I don't know if this was actually designed by the kid, but if they were, I'll be very worried, to be honest, cause when you look at the monsters, you have stuff like this, as well as this, like, on the one hand, they actually look like they could have been designed by the kid, but yeah, if they were, I'll be kind of worried about where he's getting all those, like, monster designs from, cause, not gonna lie, they actually do look a little terrifying, all things considered, so, 10 out of 10 for the monster design, but if the kid designed that, he might need a bit of therapy, I feel like. Though the game itself is actually very short, to be honest. Like, there's only 6 different stage areas that you could go to, and for the most part, you spend the game just looping back and forth between these. Like at the start of the game, what happens is that you start in the water area, you go to the chest, and then you get spooked by the monster back to the water area, you get the key, and then you go back to the area again, and you finally get past the chest and stuff like this. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, when I said this game is very Kaizo-ish, I do mean it in the sense that, like, this game really loves its surprise gimmicks to, like, mess with the players quite a lot. But that's it. The thing is, this would have been very simple to, like, handle, right? Like, we were given a squad function in the game as well. So, clearly that's meant for stuff like this. The only problem with this, and this leads to the jank of the controls, is the fact that this is actually how long it takes to actually crouch. Okay, just to show you how slow the duck in this game actually is, let me just okay, so my keyboard might be a little dirty, but right now I want you to see, like, if I were to push down here, it's like as you can see, he actually goes down, and then he like takes a few seconds to get up like this. So the problem with this is that he can't really move while ducking, and you can't really duck while moving either. Like if I were to like hold up, like okay, so I'm gonna stand here. Right, watch me push right, and then push down at the same time, right? Like, so you see the problem with this is that I kind of need to actually like dodge properly or duck properly, or I'm not going to be able to get past the arrows, meaning that I need to play this with the utmost of precision, like You didn't see that. Yeah, at this point you could probably like cross like 3 mountains and 2 dimensions before he actually like gets done with the crouch, but as long as you time it right, it's not too bad. Like I didn't mention it before this as well, but like even like trying to get across the water, you have this very weird thing where when the moment you push the jump, it's not like Mario where you can readjust in midair. Once you jump, you're committed, and like you're just gonna like fly head first. So if you push the jump at the wrong time, you're just gonna like drop straight into the water because there's a slight delay there as well. And this game also does suffer from a bit of a lack of clarity, like I mentioned before. Like when I said that after you open the chest, technically your jump height increases. This is not explained to you. So like when you get back, now the obstacles in the water, you kind of need to jump across all of it, but you just gotta time it apparently. But the game does not, by virtue of the fact that it does not give you a very good explanation of the fact that your jump has gotten better, you're gonna take a bit of time to like readjust to this, which is probably gonna cause a death or two. But it's that kind of game. No one's too like oppressed by this, except maybe Mr. Rogers in the game himself. If you were very optimized and skilled at this, I guess the speedrun would be like 5 minutes or less. But yeah, when I did this my first playthrough without knowing the game and all, it took me like I think 25 minutes. So even then, it's not very long to like clear the entire game. The main difficulties in the game come from probably the fact that the controls are a bit janked. There are a lot of surprise gimmicks meant to like gotcha and just like take you out instantly and force you to reset the game. Although the game is actually quite friendly in that sense, since it actually kind of allows you to like load from any room. Like your progress is actually saved per room with like a password, which as long as you load it, you can pretty much just save your progress in almost any room, although certain areas would bug depending on what you do. After you clear most of the areas, the second last area of the game is this area with 3 ladders, which is, this part I feel like actually like epitomizes the lack of clarity in the game. Like there are 3 ladders, you have a paper, the paper just tells you that you're gonna become bad food, and that's it. Like it doesn't say anything else, so you're just left to your own devices. Like you're gonna have to go up each of the individual 3 ladders and like try to figure out the puzzle, which the game does give you some level of guidance on like what items you need, but it doesn't really give you any explanation of like some of the mechanics which are introduced in this specific area. Like for one of the rooms, you are supposed to like jump up a bunch of cloud pretzel Ritz biscuit looking things and push a barrel down on an enemy below. Which the fact that you can actually push an object in this game, this is probably the first time you can do it. And the fact that you can kill an enemy by dropping an object on them, also the first time. So I guess you could say that it's a bit of a puzzle that you're supposed to guess that you could do this and do it. But aside from the annoying like drop physics enemy thing that you have to do, and the fact that you have to fight another like different bat, which is not the bat that's supposed to kill you and feed you to the bats or something like that. But if you manage to succeed in doing all of that without dying, you can then finally go to the last room, get the item and use it to unlock the secret room where the legendary sword supposedly is. Cause you know, legendary swords, and the thing is just like 5 minutes in the game, right? I mean, every hero has one, so why not us as well, right? I mean, if we just walk over and get it, it'll be like... Just gotta love that, don't you? So I guess, yeah, you just have to dodge that, right? I mean, if you dodge it, it's probably gonna be like the one before. You just have to dodge it at a like regular period of time and it should be fine. Like... 10 out of 10, yeah. Once you manage to get past the 2 arrows, you can finally pick up the sword, which in the most underwhelming like scene ever, you just like vanish it for some reason. I guess he just puts it up his ass or something, just hides it there until he needs it. But anyway, once you go out, you can making sure that you like dodge the one more cheap shot that comes their way. on the way out. But being a pro gamer that I was, I just got it first try this time, you know. So we get it, we go out, and then you're just greeted by Dracula. And for some reason, yeah, your sword is just sticking out of there like that. Like, it really makes it feel like he just stuck it out of his ass at some point. He's just using it now. It's like some crotch-based, like, bladed weapon instead. Well, anyway, once the battle starts, Dracula just, he just, where did he go? Yeah, apparently he just vanishes after the opening cutscene of him, like, appearing is done. Like, I think it's a visual bug. Like, he just disappears completely, and then you're expected to fight him. Like, an HP bar apparently appears at, like, the bottom right, which, it's not very clear at first until you, like, jump randomly in the air and you touch him somehow, miraculously, and you see the bar go down, and it's like, oh, so you can actually harm him, even though you can't really see him, so you wouldn't really know it's an HP bar, unless you for some reason guessed it was, and that you could somehow figure out that you were hitting him and that was causing it. Feels like it'll take a while. I don't know, it took me a while to realize this for the first time I played it. No, once you actually beat the boss, if you manage to beat the boss through like miraculously swinging around, you will be brought out of the manor net by a pterodactyl? That's a dinosaur, isn't it? I don't know if this is supposed to be the pet, but yeah, I guess this might be the kid's influence on the game. If it wasn't, I'd be worried in a different way, but hey, apparently you just get brought out of the mansion, you're told that, hey, you win, you're the man. Then you just get treated to this wonderful piece of cutscene. Like, holy shit, like this is probably the toughest part of the game, if anything, cause it really does feel like they just want us to sit here and watch this in its entirety, not knowing when it's ever gonna end. So like, truly this is the true torture in this wonderful game. No, okay. Yeah, that's a thing, huh? And that there's gonna be a sequel, which apparently never came, unfortunately. Like, so, a bit of like after talk about what happened after the game was done. Like, it became quite a meme. They actually managed to get a hold of the guy and interviewed him. He was like, yeah, he was very surprised that that became as big of a meme as it was, although he never worked on a sequel. Not so much because he was shy of like the results of the game, although it like did give him some level of embarrassment. But apparently, according to him, like his child didn't want to help him like work on the second game, so it just never came to pass as well. That's it. This game actually did get a lot of love from the community. Like, unfortunately, most of the offshoot like mini games that people made using this game are all the links are mostly dead, so I can't really try it. But like, someone made an EX version of this game, which was pretty cool. So thankfully, someone actually like uploaded a video of that to YouTube. So I guess we can just show you a bit of his video. If you want to like see the whole video, I'll put in the link below. But yeah, apparently this was what someone else made with the game in the end. I want that game instead. That's pretty much the game itself. I mean, like, when you look at the whole game, I guess you can kind of see why it, like, became such a big meme. Because, like, everything about it was just so surreal and bizarre. Especially, like, the mishmash of all the ideas. Like, the very terrifying nightmare fuel monsters. Your Kaizo level, like, traps. Your weird stage design, as well as the dissonance of the stage and the main menu design. All of this combined with the weird death rattle scream of his as he floats in the air after getting hit by a ball or someone's family jewels. Like, all of this combined just felt so weird. And I guess I can see why it became such a big meme, especially during the more wholesome days of the internet where something simple but funny would be enough to like go viral as compared to nowadays. Though overall, I guess it's not too bad. I mean, this is still way better than the first game I tried to make at least, so I have no complaints. And like, apparently what happened to the kid as well, the child who was involved with the production of the game, yeah, apparently he didn't get bullied, I hope. I don't think kids of that era had much access to the internet. Or had like access to, especially like Nico Nico Doga or like the meme culture in general, since it was a much more primitive era in general. So maybe not too bad. From what we know, from what the father has told like others in interviews as well, apparently the child is now working as a government civil service personnel. So I guess he did manage to make a good living for himself. Pretty much just like left all of this behind him, I suppose, since I don't think even he remembers what he actually like helped to contribute to the game. But yeah, I guess it's safe to say that unfortunately we'll probably never be getting a sequel to this game. Or we can just play the EX game. My opinion is pretty good as well. I really want that game. Like, give me a not dead link of that. I want that instead. That actually looks kind of fun. Hey everyone, hello, it's me from yesterday. Oh wow, today for me, it'll be yesterday for you all at least by the time this goes up, cause I'm re-recording this very last part the day before I upload this video, cause I noticed the amount of views the last video got and all the support it got, which I'm really thankful to all of you for that. Like, truly, I didn't expect to have that many people watching the videos, let alone enjoying it, so it's good to see so many people enjoy it. Like, it actually warms my heart quite a lot to see, like, me hoping that people would enjoy this, or at least finding out about these events would like bring some enjoyment to people. So seeing people actually and having fun with the videos is quite nice. I know this video itself ended up being very different from what I uploaded the past few times, at least since I think before the Blue Archive event, the ones I uploaded for Comiket as well. But yeah, since events don't exactly happen all the time, I do have my sights set on a few going forward, like aside from EVO and Anime Japan, which I'm planning for in March, there are some in February as well that I'm planning for, except that some of them haven't really started yet. So I can't really make a video that would make it for the start of the month now, at least. So those would probably come out at the end of the month. So this is going to be the start of month video. Also, the Blue Archive, aside from the video I uploaded the previous time, there's also a anniversary event campaign thing going on Akihabara as well. So I'm planning to go down for all of that. Like, I did go for some of it today, which it burnt up most of the day, if anything, like way more time than I initially expected. So I only managed to get like 3 things out of the entire campaign done. And on top of that, some parts of the campaign aren't even accessible yet. Like, some parts of it start on the 19th. Some parts are booking only until the 5th. So things here and there can't really be done yet, at least. So I'm planning to do maybe one video maybe at the end of the month or start of next month, since I know this event drags on for some parts till like start of next month. So I'm thinking of maybe waiting till everything happens so I can like record all of it and put it into one video. Or I could just like put, if you guys are interested, at least the first half of this, which are the things I went to today, into a video first, since technically it's the first half of the campaign, since the rest of the stuff begins at a later date. So if you're interested, I can put just that bit up, maybe somewhere in the middle of the month. It's a super short, like maybe 10-minute video. I know I keep saying I know I keep saying all my videos will be short, but like they never really end up being like that. But hopefully this time it will be. But yeah, if you guys are interested in that, just do let me know. And I'll do that maybe in the middle of the month as well, for like a quick progress report on what stuff has come out and that I have been to so far, which I think up until that point it might be only 4 or 5 stuff max out of the 3 that I've already gone to now. So that's what I have planned. But yeah, aside from events, since there are definitely going to be periods where there's like going to be a downtime in events, where there's not going to be as many. So typically I'm planning to do more videos like this about some of the very bad games that exist in Japan, or just interesting games as well that never really get out of the country, and maybe stuff about the industry itself, since I do know quite a bit about it, not just from an outsider's perspective. So could like talk a bit about that as well. It's some of the stuff I plan for the future, at least during the off periods of events as well. That, and also maybe like some other more just Japan in general related stuff, if you're interested, like not just from like a local's perspective, but from the perspective of someone who lives here, who came from outside, and who's actually quite fine with living here for like many years. I don't really have many of the problems that I see people complaining about online. So if you want a different perspective, maybe that could be interesting as well. I don't know. Y'all let me know if there's anything you're interested in. Otherwise, I'll just keep throwing out whatever the fuck I want to, which may or may not be interesting. hopefully you found this one interesting at least, and yeah, hopefully, if this was interesting, the next few other different types of non-events related videos will be interesting too. I really hope, like, the fact that the previous video actually got as many views as it did, and all the positive, like, supportive comments as well, was really quite heartwarming. Like, I really didn't expect to get much viewage of it, if anything. Like, I didn't expect it to even like crack 40 views at the point, to be honest. So the fact that it got that far actually, at least to me, is quite a welcome surprise. So I'm glad you all enjoyed it. For those of you who watched it as well, even if you didn't enjoy it, I thank you for the support. If there are things about the video you think I could improve, you can feel free to tell me as well, whether in the comments or you can like come to my stream. I stream on Twitch weekends. You can go there, tell me that I suck, maybe give me some positive thing I can work on to improve it. That would be great as well. But yeah, if you guys want to hang out, or in general as well, I'll probably be there. You can ask me stuff, just chill and talk about anime waifus, why Wakamo and Izuna are the best girls, or whatever. What other bad games there are in Japan. There's plenty of stuff. I don't know. Well, yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. And if this video type was also something you're interested in, aside from my other event related ones, you can hit the I'm trying to like point without looking, like I'm using the corner of the eye thing to like look without looking, like subscribe down here. Are my fingers on screen? I hope they're on screen. I just felt myself touch the mic, so that's gonna make a sound. But yeah, if you're interested in more content like this, do feel free to subscribe. Once again, thank you all so much. Like, it really does mean a lot to me at least. So yeah, thank you. Probably can see the bald spot. No, that's not a bald spot, right? Yeah, probably isn't. But yeah, thank you all so much for all the support last video. I'll try to make more, hopefully better as well as time passes, because I'm still trying to figure out all of this Premiere Pro stuff as well, so that might take a little while. But yeah, thank you all for the support. If you wish to see more of my videos, feel free to subscribe. I'll try to make stuff more and maybe more interesting in the future going forward as well. So yeah, that's all for today. Thank you all for watching once again. I'll be heading off now. So you all take care, and I'll see you hopefully in the next video. So take care and bye-bye.